Welcome back to MX5 Info. In this video I will show you how you can add additional keys to your NB2 Miata that are able to work with the immobilizer and the ECU. I will show you two procedures, and in both cases you will end up with 3 working keys. Depending on the number of valid keys you have, you can execute one of these procedures. With less than 2 valid keys you need procedure number 1. You can program up to 8 keys, but need at least 3 keys with unique transponder chips and the code word for your immobilizer. With at least 2 valid keys, you can program up to 8 keys with unique transponder chips without the need for the immobilizer code word. Mazda has used the Lucas TRW immobilizer on various models in the period from 1998 to 2006. Each immobilizer has a serial number specific 8-digit code word. This table shows which service functions require the input of the code word and which can be done without it. Since I only have one valid key, I need the code word, but nobody wanted to give it to me. The rules are strict and dealers prefer to sell you the keys and the services. Fortunately, my research yielded some results that allowed me to determine the code word for my immobilizer. My project car came with just one key. The other original key is missing, but might still be in Germany at the company that sold me this car. I will start the procedure with one original key, one additional key with a cut blade and space for a chip, and 2 additional transponder chips with unique numbers. I have removed the steering wheel so we can see what needs to be done at the ignition lock and how the immobilizer light will respond. In order to start the desired process, we need to start inserting an invalid key. So in this case, the new key with the chip that is unknown to the car. Once it's inserted in the ignition lock, we need to pull it out a bit, roughly a centimeter, and then put it back in. And we need to do that 5 times until the immobilizer light starts flashing. And then we need to wait for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, the immobilizer light will start flashing in a different pace. It will be off for 1.2 seconds and on for 1.2 seconds. And then we need to enter a keyword. I will not give you the keyword for my immobilizer, as you can imagine. And as you can see, now the 5 minutes have passed and I can start entering codes for the code word. The process to enter the code word is not very complicated, but you need to concentrate and pay attention to the immobilizer light that will go on and off in 1.2 second intervals. To enter a digit, you turn the key to the on position when the immobilizer light is off. Then you count the number of times that the light will go on, and that should match the number that the digit indicates. So let's assume that you want to enter a 3, then you wait for the light to go on 3 times, and then you turn the key to the lock position. Then you have entered 1 digit. You need to do 8 in total. Between digits, you need to wait for at least 1 cycle. That means you need to wait to see the light go on at least once, but you cannot wait longer than 30 seconds before you start with the next digit. In case you need to enter a digit 0, then wait for the light to go on for 10 times. I will enter a 3. I will now enter a 2. In case you make a mistake in the keyword, and then the process will immediately abort and you will have to start again. The code has now been entered correctly because the illumination is on all the time. I've now inserted the original key as the second key. Now I can take out the key and I need to wait for at least 30 seconds. And then I can validate if the car can start with both keys. Did you notice my mistake? I'm used to only programming 2 keys on the NB2 Miata, and that's why I stopped after 2 keys. But that doesn't work for the NB generation because you need at least 3 keys. So the result of this was that I had 1 key working, which was the new key, and the original key was no longer working. So I started the process again and made a different mistake because I offered the invalid key first and then I offered a valid key. And after the valid key, the third key was not accepted. So I ended up with 2 working keys after that round, which is fortunate for us because otherwise I would have had 3 valid keys and I could not have shown you procedure number 2, where we need to start with 2 valid keys. So there was a bit of luck involved, but at least I can now show you both procedures. When you want to program a third key to the car, so in the situation where you already have 2 valid keys, the procedure is fairly similar to what we've done before, but we don't need a code word. The process kicks off in the same way. You insert one of the valid keys and then slide it in and out of the ignition 5 times. Now the immobilizer light lights up constantly. We can remove this first valid key. The immobilizer light goes out. I insert the second valid key. I need to turn on the ignition and wait for the immobilizer light to dim. Now I can remove this key and then within 30 seconds I need to present the third key, switch on the ignition and wait for the immobilizer light to go out. I can then remove that key and now we wait for another 30 seconds before we can validate if all the keys are stored correctly. I'll try the first key, the original key. Immobilizer light goes out. Car starts. And now between switching keys, you need to wait at least 5 seconds. Yep, second key works. I now need to insert the last chip. So I've now confirmed that all 3 keys work on this car. During the video you've seen me making 1 or 2 mistakes, but that's all part of the game. I do this for you, to save you time, money and frustration. In return, I would appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or remarks, please leave them in the comment section below. Thanks for watching MX5 Info, and until next time.